Three. What's going on, folks? Your boy again, Doc Sean Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We are back in the building, folks, and it's episode 124. Can you believe it? This show has grown so much in the last 4 years. Be More Today show has grown thanks to you. Your love and support, now hosted officially on Spotify for podcasts. Thank you so much for bringing us here through the 78 countries, over 47,000 downloads. It's thanks to you for your love and support that this show continues to move forward and to continue to inspire others to be more today. As you know, our site, BeMoreToday.com, has my book. Our More merch store is open. Continue to go out there and get your more merch gear to keep pushing yourself forward every single day. And if you're looking for a running coach, again, it's almost marathon season. You know, I'm doing Berlin. Get out there and send me an email, info@BeMoreToday.com. We will get you started with our running club, Spartan Sunday Running Club here in Brooklyn, or anyone else you want to do anything virtually, let us know and put you on our platform. And of course, Be More Today is on Instagram and Facebook, Be More Today _show, and Be More Today _PT. And I am your boy, Dr. Sean Thomas at BeMoreToday.com. Folks, we have a great show today, and our quote for today is simple as always. Some people want it to happen. Some people wish it to happen or it would happen, and others make it happen, by Michael Jordan. I don't know about you, but this year I've been really focused on setting the bar high for myself. It gets very, very easy to do what you do well. We talk about this all the time, right? You do what you do well, and you know what that thing is. If you're in the gym, you know you have good biceps, you do bicep curls, and then you don't like cardio, you may or may not do cardio. You do cardio for like the little portion of time you have left in the gym. But at some point in time, you have to do the things that you know are going to be challenging. You know are going to put you to the next level. You know you have to push yourself a little more to get better overall. And I'm taking that personally this year as I'm training for Berlin that I'm doing in September, and my runners are starting to go out there and get our speed work in. We're doing things differently because we have to recognize that if you want things to be different, you have to go out there and make that thing happen. You may want it to happen, you may wish it to happen, but you have to sometimes make things happen on your own because sometimes things aren't out there. And what you need to get to the next level is something that you have to do, a little extra work, a little waking up a little earlier, a little more preparation, a little more time, a little more effort to get those results done. And it's beneficial for you and for all those around you. And I have some special guests on the show today who have pushed the envelope when it comes to their specialties. They went out there and they saw that there was something that was lacking in the industry. And they figured out a way to not just wish it would happen, but make it happen for them and for others who are able to benefit from those things as well. And my two guests on the show today are two of my fan favorites, Rickey Ventures and Tom Miller. Now, folks, Rickey Ventures, that's a good friend of mine. You've known, he's been on the show a number of times. Rickey Ventures and Tom Miller, though, both share a passion for helping others achieve their goals. Rickey Ventures is a business consultant with a focus on construction, real estate, and technology. Tom Miller, on the other hand, is a hitting coach from Maryland with over 25 years of experience coaching baseball and softball players. Tom has personally coached and developed players to achieve their goals of playing at various levels, including club, high school, college, and professional. After thousands of students, Tom has developed a step-by-step guide that guarantees success. His system helps players develop a healthier and more powerful swing, gain confidence at the plate, and provides a reference for training. Meanwhile, Rickey has dedicated his career to helping construction, real estate, and technology businesses succeed. His expertise lies in advising companies on how to optimize their operations, achieve sustainable growth, and stay ahead of industry trends. Together, Rickey Ventures and Coach Tom Miller combine their expertise in technology and sports coaching to create Hit Dr. MD, a platform that provides athletes and coaches with cutting-edge tools to improve performance. In January 2023, they released the Elite Swing Trainer, a revolutionary training aid that provides instant feedback on swing path contact point. The Elite Swing Trainer has quickly gained a following among baseball and softball players and coaches alike. Thanks to their dedication and innovation, Hit Dr. MD and the Elite Swing Trainer have become go-to resources for anyone looking to improve their swing mechanics and take their game to the next level. And we talk about taking our game and our lives to the next level every single day. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets included, please welcome to the stage my two guests, my boy Rickey Ventures and my new best friend, Coach Tom Miller. Gentlemen, what is going on?
What's up, man? What's up, man? So happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me back. To all the listeners, man, from months ago, man, when I was on here. It's so good to be back on this Be More Today platform, Be More show, today's show, man. It's always good catching up with you, Sean, man. And I brought a good friend of mine, business partner, along with me, man, as we kind of dissect what we've been doing over the last few years. But other than Tom Miller, good friend of mine, family, as we have grown together over these last few years. So, man, thanks so much for having us.
No problem. Tom, how are you?
Great, great. Yes. Yeah, Rick and I came together just through me teaching hitting lessons. And it was wild because his son was training at a facility and I was teaching there and I didn't know it, but the whole time he was watching me teach. Every time he came in, his son was training at the facility. I was teaching there. And one day he approached me and said, "Hey, I'm watching you train and all your kids can hit. And the girls, the guys." And he said, "I see the other coaches sitting around, tossing balls off of buckets." And I said, "Well, I have a system and things, and I appreciate that." And he says, "Can I have your number?" So yeah, I gave him the number and didn't hear from him. So I'm thinking, well, he's doing his thing. A year later, he calls me. Right, Rick, was what, about a year?
Yeah, a year later, exactly a year later.
A year later, and he's like, "Hey, Tom, it's Patrick. How's it going?" I said, "Good." And he said, "Remember, I got your number up at the hitting store." I said, "Sure." He goes, "I want to do a lesson." So when he shows up, he's got Marlon with him, which, I'm sure he's been on the show. And that's like Rick's right hand man. So he and Marlon come out and they bring Solomon and start working on things. And 6, 7 lessons in, I guess, is how everything really, really started. And I was complaining to him about an idea I had. And I said, "I can't get anybody to help me." And I've asked like 5, 6 people. And he jumps up and goes like, "Hey, I can do this." And I'm like, "You can do it?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what do you do?" He goes, "I'm an engineer, at Hopkins." I was like, "What?" I'm thinking, wow, this is like, I'm blessed. Like, here, I got this guy that maybe we can do this. And then, from there, we started talking about it. And I had an idea from a training drill that I did. And I knew it would work because I did the drill, but I used other things instead of what we had. And I wanted to make the drill portable. And from there, we ran with the ball. He actually had me write the book. I'm like, "Man, I can't write a book." I'm like,
"Man, Tom, man, you're gonna tell him all the story, man. Now you just
go ahead." But it's just, anyway, he's very dynamic. And he brought the best out of me. I can tell you that. He's love to death. So go ahead, run with it for a little while.
Yeah, no, Rickey does that sometimes. I've known Rickey for a long time. We grew up together in our church, upstate New York, and we've crossed paths a number of times through school, through life, back at upstate, and then even with traveling between Maryland, Spartan races we've done together. I've had him on the show for his Success Journey show. I've been on his show. So, we connect. So he does that. He brings out the best in anybody he's around. And
he does it. He really does. I'm telling you. I mean, I could be having a bad day. I talk to him. By the time I'm done, I'm smiling. I'm feeling better. So
yeah, exactly. So it's no surprise that he saw something in you, and just watching what you've been doing with other people, that he said he can hopefully take whatever you're doing and bring his nuggets, expertise to that. So you guys have combined. And I know, Coach, you've been doing this baseball thing for a long time. How long have you been coaching baseball, softball?
Well, I was coaching a long time ago. I mean, I hate to even tell you, but I was a hitting coach on a team back in 1989. We finished second, actually, in the whole country.
Wow.
And but I had gotten away from it, among family and doing things, and got back into it. And I had somebody come to me, a local high school coach, asked me about 12 years ago to start teaching hitting lessons with him. And I was really busy. I had some other business ventures going, and I really didn't have time. But I said, I love doing it. I'll give it a shot. And that's grown into where we are today. And, good journey, long journey. But I really feel like if you do something that you love and enjoy, it's not a job. Like, I'm going to be training this evening, and it's going to be a fun time because I'm doing something I love. So I'm getting paid to do something I love to do, and it's just fun. I mean, it's not work really per se. I mean, you still have to put time and effort in, but it's something you love to do. So, and I would tell everybody, you find something you love, go in that direction, and then things will grow for you because you're happy about what you're doing. All of us have jobs. You got to go to work. And I get that, but you do something you love and you're passionate about, as you do with your coaching. You enjoy it, and it's a fun thing. And Rick dabbles in a lot of stuff. He really does. He's very dynamic, but with this, it's like he found his niche. I mean, he's dynamic in his ideas, and he's I feel he's as excited and happy as I am. He doesn't train, but he's doing stuff he loves to do and
Man,
work
how
with.
do you know I don't train, man? I got my whole clientele. I steal all your stuff, man.
Oh, is that what you're
I got all
doing
my
now?
old clients, man.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check into that. I'd like to see you teach a couple classes. Actually, I'll pay you to train me. How's that? I would love that.
I don't know if we have enough time for that, Tom.
Yeah. that would be fun. We need to video that, Sean. We can put that on your show.
That's right.
Bloopers for hitting or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rickey, I know you, I kind of hate you sometimes because I see you making stuff on Instagram. And my wife is, in her mind, HGTV fanatic. So in her mind, she wants to have a fixer-upper. And every time she talks about us getting a house, she brings up your name. Well, Rickey made this, and Rickey made that, and Rickey did this. And I'm like, yo, you're messing up my whole vibe, dude.
No.
He does do stuff too. I'm like, I don't tell my wife because I'll be doing all these projects. I'm like, come on, man, take it easy.
He's setting the bar way too high for the rest of us.
Yes, he does. Yes,
I will say, I appreciate that because you've used your knack and expertise for engineering for so many other things. And I just want to say two things before I ask you this question, Rick. I know that you're an engineer, and I feel like you don't tell anybody you're an engineer, which I think is hilarious. But at the same time, it's also, it makes me look at, and I'm doing the same thing as well, when you have a specialty like yours that can be shared and expanded in other facets, right? Yes, you're an engineer, but you're now so much more than that, because now you're able to apply whatever you learn from engineering to business, to construction, to the other things. So I understand the concept of not always putting out there what the world may see as, oh, so what do you do? What's your degree? What's your this? Because yes, it is a title, and it's the schooling, it's the trade, but now we're so much bigger than that in terms of how we operate and how we move. So it's no surprise to me that you've now applied the engineering foundation to so many other things. I'm curious, Rickey. I know you can build anything. How have you expanded your building gifts from the construction sites, everything else, to now this fitness realm? And how does that feel to you to be able to do that?
It's funny, and Tom's gonna laugh at this. I appreciate you saying that, man. And as you were saying that, like you're right. I don't really say that I'm an engineer much anymore these days, because I kind of moved away from the everyday aspect of engineering, where you're designing and doing calculations and getting drawings and specs together, which was fun during the time that I did it. But I always knew that I like solving problems, right? And it didn't necessarily confine me to technical or engineering problems, but more so problems in general of just life, right? And I always had that knack of being able to pull a sequence of events together to hopefully get the desired outcome that you want. All right. So it's like, oh man, I want to be here. Okay, what do I need to make that happen? And if I don't know all the steps, I try to figure out the next three, right? Figure out the next three steps so that it can get me to where I want to be. And so with this whole sports realm, like we've been in sports all of our lives, right? I've always been some type of sports, from kids all the way up, man, when we've been on the basketball courts together back when teenage years, man. And you probably still out there now, man. I'm not too much myself, but I just watch now, my son. Man. That's my enjoyment, watching him play. But coming from there, and so I always had a draw to that space, but never knew how my skills connected to it, right? My training, education, and things of that nature. There was never really a direct parallel to it, other than, oh, let me design a fitness center, or let me design a stadium or equipment room or something like that, right? So what attracted me to Tom, and more so just this realm we're in right now, was that I saw someone that was gifted in their space. and not just gifted in their space, but I'm just gonna say how it is, better than most that are in that space, right? And coming from where we've come from, and we've been exposed to a lot of different people that operate in excellence. I saw myself as in, wow, this guy's operating in excellence, but not everyone's not seeing it. Right. So how can I, knowing what I know and exposure and things of that nature, help him be seen and help the ideas be seen? And believe it or not, I'm gonna tell the world this, right? As it comes to the engineering aspect of what we developed, Tom is the MacGyver of the group, right? Tom like has a mind, an engineering mind that is like beyond what a regular engineer would be, and you would think. And I more so found myself in the whole business development of our company. So everything business wise, how the team is structured, what we do, how we strategically move forward, how we build partnerships, how we go out and get the patents and the lawyers and all these different things. Like that's me. That's the realm I fit in. Like I took my engineering skills and wrapped it around building a company, right? But Tom, he took his ingenuity and he applied that to the actual device. And all I did was set guidelines and framework around it. It's like, all right, let's sit you in front of the right people so we can get your ideas around. Let's make sure it makes sense. But that he's the one driving that part. So it was very unique. I was like, wow, like I don't have to be in an engineering role technically in this space, but I'm able to enjoy and do myself where I'm really good at within this partnership right here.
I love that. And, I take a lot of things from that. I take the fact that you recognize your gift, your skill, and then share that with the rest of the world, but also recognize that even in sharing that with someone like Tom, Coach Tom, um, seeing that when he's actually putting his expertise to the test, you can step back and you can watch
Yes.
him work and watch him really thrive, and that pushes Tom to be better and pushes you to be better. And
Yeah.
Coach Tom, I don't know if what he's saying is true or not, but it sounds like you're the main driver of this thing in so many ways from a number of reasons. I'm just saying, maybe from a coaching perspective, being able to see what you do and what you want athletes to do is one thing, but then trying to figure out how they can get better at that thing. Sometimes it's about talking to them and getting them to be more inspired or more cognizant of their movements, but sometimes you just need something that's going to help you get over that hump, whether it's a new
Right.
drill, a new skill, a new equipment, whatever else. So if you didn't see something out there, you've now developed something that everyone can use. And I want to talk about that now. Let's just get into it.
Okay.
Hit Dr. MD. Gentlemen, what is it? Where did the concept come from? Why is it so effective? And why should people go out there and research, buy, invest in Hit Dr. MD and the Elite Swinger?
Yeah. So I'll start off, but Tom has a whole story with Hit Doctor. So Tom, as everyone knows, as he's shared, has been training for many years, right? And he was known as the Hit Doctor, right? Now, guys, there are a lot of people that train, okay? There are a lot of people there are a lot of coaches that are out there. But when you're in an area, especially in this mid-Atlantic area, and a kid says, hey, I really, really need to improve my game, improve my hitting techniques, it's very often that you're here, go to the Hit Doctor. Go to the Hit Doctor, right? And you think doctor as someone that's, correcting, your flaws, right? Your functions, your maneuvers, all those different things, right? And that's what Tom sees. He identifies it and knows how to address and fix it quickly. I can't even count on my hands how many times I've been there when he's training students and the student comes in, the players come in and they can't hit the ball at all. And Tom looks at him. He's like, okay, do this, this, and this. Boom. By the time they do those quick adjustments, they're smacking the ball throughout the rest of the training. Right. And it's like to have that ability to do that. So they gave him the word to Hit Doctor. So now to answer your question directly, when we got together and we're thinking of, you start a company, the biggest thing everyone's thinking about, what's my company name, right? Sometimes before you even think about what you're going to offer as a service, you're like, man, what are we going to call ourselves, right? Yeah. So we're going through that whole routine, and Tom, he looks over, he's smirking a little bit, and he's like, yeah, they do call me the Hit Doctor. And I'm like, hit doctor. And we're like, oh, okay, I think that will work. And just to show how, just grassroots this is, right? MD, the play on MD, medical doctor, hit doctor, like why in the world is MD in there? So we looked around. Of course, when you're trying to find a name, you got to make sure that it's available, right? So we go and we see someone out there called Hit Doctor, all right? And we're like, oh man, it may not be available. We were like, but what if we put MD behind there representing Maryland, right? And that's our colors on our logo, MD. So we said, all right, so Hit Doctor Maryland, right? Or Hit Doctor of Maryland, right? Yeah. So now it all came together organically without us even having to stress about the name. So then, if you can see on my shirt here, we were like, man, we got to think of a logo, right? And we're going back and forth. And I said, Tom, it'd be great if we had I'm thinking about I'm doing all the branding and all that kind of stuff for the company and the business stuff. And I'm like, Tom, man, we need a logo. We need a nice logo. We're thinking about a home plate. But the MLB, they have the silhouette. You have the NBA, they have the silhouette. All those different things. The silhouette. The person I said, man, we need a silhouette. So I'm online trying to find different people, and nothing's matching what Tom teaches. Right? There's a certain way you stand, certain way you swing. I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Tom goes, well, I have a photo of one of our other business partners of him swinging. Maybe you can use that. Man, he sent me the photo. I sent it over to our graphic designer, and boom, we got our logo, which is our other business partner built into. I'm put on this side. Built into the logo of him swinging, and that becomes the Hit Doctor MD logo. So I'm sharing all this because it wasn't rocket science to get to that part or pull all those together. We were just using everything that we had in front of us and who we were organically, and boom, just put it all together. And we have Hit Doctor MD. And to answer the second part of that question of what we do, right? So Hit Doctor, as Tom has talked about, the training that he does, and he does a lot of training, individual training with softball, baseball. We do clinics with teams, but we are a product development company, right? We build tools and aids to help increase or improve your mechanics, right? For hitting, right? As what we specialize in. So with that, if someone's looking up Hit Doctor MD, and I hope you're looking it up now, you'll see on our website where we have featured the Elite Swing Trainer, which is our first invention, first product that we bring into the market. And that invention speaks to exactly what we're trying to do. How do we help improve the swinging mechanics of the players, not only that we work with, but all the players all around the world that are in baseball and softball. And you can look on the website and see all the different features and what it does. But yeah, that's just the beginning. We have a whole bunch more to add that. So I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely. That's incredible. Coach Tom,
yes,
as a physical therapist, my main job is to do similar things in terms of looking at function and people's movements, and to kind of figure out how they can move better, how to maximize their potential for doing whatever they want to do, whether it's running, walking, jogging, picking up their kids, returning to sport, all those different things. So you and I share that same sentiment and that same passion, I think, for trying to make sure that people can maximize their functional capacities. How has this new invention changed your coaching, and how much of your coaching expertise was put into the Elite Trainer?
Okay, so what happened was, as I improved my coaching techniques, there's a drill that players do all over the world, and it's called the net drill or the fence drill. And what you do is you set the tee, the batting tee, within 6 to 8 inches of a chain link fence or a soft net. Put the ball on it, you step away, step back a little bit, and the drill is to teach you to keep your hands inside the ball, which is a technical thing that people understand, and not to cast or arm bar or early extend and hit the ball off the tee without hitting the net or the fence. Well, the average bat now is over $300 new. And if you're going to put that by a chain link fence, you got to go to a field or someplace that you can swing, maybe along a dugout or the protective fence for where the players sit during the game. and you're going to tell a player to hit the ball off the tee, and if they hit that fence, you know, their parents they're going to flip out because you told my son to do this or my daughter, and holy cow. So I thought, wow, that's not cool. And then I have a retractable hitting cage at my home where I teach, and if the wind blows, it moves the net, you know, and you're like, you don't have anything steady and set. So the day that I was complaining to Rick that I had this great idea, I said, I'm telling you, I want to make something that attaches to a tee, that it's set and that you can adjust it. And I had all this in my head. And what's so funny that Rick was, you know, sort of getting to is that here he's, you know, this, you know, really successful engineer. And I have a degree, my degree is in business. I have an AA in phys ed and health. So sort of the anatomy and physiology thing I understood. But he's, you know, so I'm supposed to be the business brain. He's supposed to be the developer. We flip roles. I'm like, what's going on? You know, so he sends me to an engineering company, sits with me, and starts telling me, go ahead, brainstorm, give him your ideas. Da, 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 da. And before you know it, we had a, you know, a rudimentary, you know, design and getting there. And then we purchased some 3D printers and started dabbling with it, got some more guys on board. And before you know it, we had a working prototype. So I was like, this is it. This is wonderful. And every day that we saw each other in the process, it just was like we were happy and things were growing. And I would say we complement each other. I can't even tell you. I'll go to battle with him, whatever he wants to do. I'm there. If he says, hey, let's do this, we don't argue. We would sit in the beginning and brainstorm. He'd come down my house. We'd sit in my kitchen, and I would be like pacing, like all this ideas were in my head, and he'd start giving me cue words. So what about this? What about that? Take notes, and that's just how I grew. And you know, people don't need to overcomplicate it. I would say keep things simple. Like I said, you know, if you have ideas and you're stuck, try to find somebody that will complement you. You know, as Rick sort of alluded to, there's a couple more products that are going to be coming to the market over the next year or so. And we have a product that's going to complement the swing trainer. But getting back to that, so it's a drill that coaches do all the time. And it's so funny because people come up to us and they go, this is the portable net drill or the fence drill. And we're like, yeah, well, how'd you figure this out? Well, I always say, go talk to that guy or you can sit talk with me. But, you know, he knows the whole story. And as far as getting back to the hit doctor, what happened was how the name, how I was, you know, I guess called that. There was a high school coach that watched me for years train. And he said, man, these kids come in and they got sick, horrible swings. They can't hit to save their life. And he goes, just like somebody goes to the doctor. He said, they go to you, you give them your medication, which is my thought process and how I teach. And he goes, and in a month or so, guys they're ripping the cover off the ball. He said, I don't get it. He said, you're like a doctor. He said, I'm going to start calling you hit doctor. And that was like his second year in, and it just stuck. You know, I thought, okay. And so it's grown, and then we use the name for the company. And it's just been a wonderful journey. It's, you know, I feel blessed every day. It's just been, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'll sit around like in a daze sometimes, like how, you know, I think about it all the time, how it's just growing all the time. And I couldn't have done it without him. That's all I could tell you. I mean, you know, it wouldn't be, you know, that thought would still be in my head and it would have never come to fruition. I mean, I'm just telling you, I just thank God every day that the day I said it, he was sitting there because 6, 7 other people, even 2 of them were engineers. That's a cool idea, but I don't have time, whatever. And he jumps in. And then now he's told me lately when I said, oh, you can do this. He said, I didn't want to tell you this, but I just said that because I figured, what can it hurt? I was like, you're kidding me. He's like, no, I didn't know I could really do it, but I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And I was like, God, you're kidding me. So he took a chance, I took a chance, and this is where we are. You know?
And that's what it's all about, man. Taking chances, and you never know where the cards are gonna lie. So
No, you don't know. You really
that's the
don't.
beauty of
I
it.
mean,
That's the beauty of
I
it.
would tell everybody, go for it. Don't be scared. Just go. You know,
Yeah,
it'll work out.
yeah, absolutely. You know, I played baseball my freshman year in high school, and I was terrible. We
Should have
only had
gave
a
me a
baseball
call. That's
team.
all I can tell you.
And that was actually, I think the last year we had the team was my freshman year. We were so bad. The team was pretty good, but I was bad. We weren't good after that. We did lacrosse at the last 3 years after that.
There's
But
a big story about lacrosse players with that, but I don't want to say it. But Rick knows what I'm thinking. But anyway, how they build the lacrosse team, you know. So.
oh yeah. But I'm curious. So the elite trainer, you know, a lot of the feedback that we talk about in terms of movement and medicine is about you know, feedback, right? Intrinsic feedback,
Sure.
extrinsic feedback. So you know, whatever you're able to get from someone telling you what to do, or you know, cueing you what to do, and then whatever you're actually internally able to do to recognize how to change a certain movement, whether it's a swing or a basketball shot or whatever else. So the elite trainer, how does that work in terms of showing someone how to improve their swing? Is it all intrinsic movements? Are there cues, or is there feedback you can actually see to say, look, hand low higher here, or take a step backwards there? Like, how does that work in terms of those who are listening, or those who play baseball, softball, who are trying to get into it to visually see how it's going to work better for them?
Okay. So as a running coach, you have drills and things that you do for movement. You know, I don't know enough about the technical part of running, but maybe arm movement and where you're landing and gait and like knee height, all this different stuff that you do drills with. So in hitting, because you know it is very technical. You know, you have two moving objects that got to connect, and it's a lot of hand-eye coordination. My I would say my forte or what I see is I try to simplify movement. So in baseball, they say short two, so short and quick to the ball, long finish. And to do that with the body, there's things that you have to do. So when your hands are closer to you, they're faster, just like with figure skaters when they spin. So when they want to slow down, their hands go away from them. When you speed up, they come to you for centrifugal force. So when you hit, your hands actually stay close to your body and then they go to the ball. So with that drill, what it teaches you is to keep your hands close to the body, which we call arm slot and bat lag, which means you're keeping your hands close to your body as you swing. And then you go to the ball. So people that understand hitting, coaches have heard it 1,000 times, keep your hands inside the ball. This is what the swing trainer teaches. And it's adjustable so that when a player starts learning, you put it far away. And then as they improve, you come in. And we have a four steps that you can come in. And the closer it gets, the more it teaches you to keep your hands close to your body as you swing. And then there's a process. So I was fortunate when I was younger. I studied with a coach basically online, spoke with him about what I was doing. And he was at Tulane University, and he had come up with a 7-step approach. And I had some of my own in there, and I cut it to 5. I simplified it. And when I spoke with him, he was so excited. Like, he sent me his training disc for like cost. You know, they were like 9. He said, "Look, give me, you know, I'll send them to you for $20." He said, "You know, you're young, you're excited, go ahead, run with it." And I haven't spoken to him. I really have to check to see, because he was elderly at the time, and see how things are going with him. But he was very instrumental in my thought process. And I saw how he had simplified hitting and things that he did. And then I just took that and ran with it. So you can use other people's ideas to make you better. And that's sort of what I did. And he was just really gracious about, you know, me doing it, and thought, well, go ahead, run with it. And so, you know, the process of it, Rick can tell you the business side, and it's funny, I don't do anything on that side. He does it all. He tells me what he wants me to do, and I do it. And he lets me do the development. We have a development guy. I just go sit with him now. Rick's like, yeah, you go ahead. And then I'll look at it at the end. But he's, you know, we bought a couple 3D printers that we can dabble with and things, and that's helped a lot. But he's definitely, he runs with the business side, and, you know, I'm the development side. So,
So with that, Tom, I want you to explain, or I'll explain. So, Sean, another aspect of it in terms of training is there are, as Tom was mentioning, the indicator that is moved further from yourself or closer to yourself to help improve your mechanics. That indicator, if it's struck, it gives an automatic instant feedback to that player.
Yes.
So they know that, oh man, my arms were further away from my body than they should have been, right? So it allows them to adjust on the spot, right? From that feedback. You don't have to have a separate coach there to be watching it for you. Everything can be done within itself. But then there's other aspects of your swing in which it can adjust to. So and we're letting this know to the world right now, when we first made it, that was the only component that we were necessarily thinking about. I don't say only, but that was the forefront component we were thinking about. But as we developed it and as we were been training our athletes with it over the last couple of years, before we released it, we noticed that it has a 360 dimension to it where you can train multiple aspects of your swing, right? You can look, we can put it in a north-south position where you can work on your swing plane. And Tom knows all these definitions more and these terminologies better than I do, but your swing plane. You can also put it into the inside where you can work on bringing the knob to the ball. All these different drills that we weren't even, we were doing it, but when we were designing this, that wasn't the forefront of why we were designing this thing. So when we got done, there's like 3 or 4 different drills, tools, trainings that you can do with this one device. And the significant thing about it is that it gives you that instant feedback, so that you can work on your own. You can be in your backyard, you can be at a field. All you have to have is a tee and some balls, and boom, you go take your swing trainer, attach it there, and then you can start training on your own.
Good point.
Are they audio cues or the visual cues?
Visual.
It's all visual.
Okay. All visual. So what happens is the indicator that we have, and I should have one. Oh, I do. My background is blurred because I may have stuff on my desk of me putting parts together. But this indicator here is a bungee assembly, right? So a person would strike this red part here with their bat if they
hold it in front of you if you can, then they can see it. There you go.
Yeah,
or over a little bit. Yep.
And as they hit it, this indication will move. That right there shows you that you made contact with the indicator, meaning that you're out of slot. Now, people ask all the time, "Oh man, you say don't hit a fence with the bat, but yet you have it sitting a pipe. Can that pipe sustain the hitting of a player?" And we train players from little kids all the way up to professionals, right? We have D1 players, things of that nature. So we said to him, and we were in Nashville this winter, and just really displaying this thing when we released it, and we showed people, it's like, man, this pipe can bend all the way like this, right? And it also mess up my mic there, and also can bend all the way back to original state, right? The original state. So you're like, people are like, oh man, so it is durable enough. You don't have to worry about if you're hitting it, if you're banging it. I'm bending it back, banging it. So it's very durable. Any bat, you can use any bat with it. But the biggest thing is that it gives you that instant feedback.
That's great. Yeah, I think that feedback is crucial. I mean, used to talking about, remember back in my days when I was doing D1, my coaches, literally every single time we did a jump or whatever else, there was instantaneous feedback saying, leg a little higher here, more knee drive here. So being able to have that cue, especially for baseball, softball players, my roommates played baseball on the baseball team. So they would always talk to me about the rigorous trainings they had. And when it came to hitting, which is one of the hardest things to do, the small changes you have to do to make sure that you're to be consistent in hitting. And even going from like the high school to the college to professional, the way that the ball is traveling just faster, it's just more important to make sure you have those things down pat, because the small levels of precision gets more challenging as you go higher up in the ranks. So having someone to just give you that feedback, whether it's the elite trainer or a coach, is key to seeing success. And I'm glad that you guys are putting this out there for the world to be able to benefit from, because it seems like it's going to be a great nugget for those to use anywhere they go, especially if you don't have, I'm thinking about places that don't have access to even baseball fields. We live in Brooklyn. We live in Bed-Stuy, so there's definitely more basketball courts than baseball fields in Brooklyn, right? But there are a number of people who clearly play baseball and softball. So having this access to do this in a park is a huge advantage, or to do it even in their backyard, even on their front porch. That's a huge advantage. So I'm impressed with you guys. And I don't know what the cost is. How much does it cost? What's the minimum age for it? What are those questions that we can let our listeners know so they can kind of go out there and get
Oh
it?
yeah, absolutely. So while we sell this product for $99, $99.99, it's currently on sale through the end of May, I believe, for $89.99. And if you want to buy in bulk, we also have options for that as well, with a little more of a discount for that option as well. But it's one of those things where, and if you're a team, you're a team and you have run an organization or your facility, there's also some discounts that we have for those as well. So all that information and our contact information is right on our website. We make it very simple to you get access, get to the cost, get to us, and we respond very quickly to any inquiries around it.
That's great. It makes me think about a number of things. I know the Wii came out a long time ago, and it seems like it's old technology now compared to what's happening now. But I do remember playing so many things on the Wii, from the tennis to the bowling, and it was that kind of a virtual reality aspect of applying sports to technology and merging those two things together. This seems to me similar, but clearly on a higher upscale level. And I'm curious if the technology that you're using for this is anywhere or any way related to the virtual reality stuff or the VR stuff that we're seeing now on the market. Is that true, or is it different? How's it similar?
No, very, very good question. I'll start it off and I'll let Tom go on from there. This product is purely mechanical, product. And we did that for a particular reason. One, we wanted anyone to be able to pick it up without having any other independent devices or dependent devices in order to function it. Yes, we could have added a whole bunch of computer aids to it, virtual reality, sensors to it, right? So it can measure all those things. And a lot of those things are on the market, right? Then we've met a lot of them, and we talked to a lot of them that do this thing. But there was nothing that we saw that fit what we do accordingly. That was just strictly, I can be on an open field. If I don't have my cell phone, if I don't have service, I don't have what call, I can still train, right? No matter where I am in this world, I can still train and get that instant feedback, right? So that's kind of where we have hung our hats on, providing devices that are simple, right? When people see this and people buy this, the first feedback is, this is so simple. Why did I not think about it? And it's simple enough that we have a lot of patents on it, and we have a lot of variations in our patent how to do it. So don't think it's that simple, okay? But there's a lot of they say, man, why didn't we think of it, right? So it's one of those things where that's what we want from people, to think like, wow, this is simple concept attaches to any tee on the marketplace. Any tee on the market, whether it's a skinny side, the bigger side. And this, for all the listeners that may be out there that hear this and they've had a complaint and say it doesn't fit on my tee, we would challenge that. We went to even a tee that goes upside down. One of our good friends out there in this product development space, Magic Tee, I'll give them a shout out. They're doing some good stuff. We even tested it with their tee. But one thing that we do not promise is that it does not work on broken tees. Okay.
No, it doesn't. No.
So everything has to be fully operational for our device to have its optimal performance. So I just want to plug that out there. Go ahead, Tom. I know you want to add to that.
Right. So so we developed it. It's got the swing trainer has a V block on it, and that block is designed that when that's attached to the tee, that it'll fit any tee. And that was a big deal because all the good tees are telescopic. So they have a wide base, then thinner, then a thin top. And we had to develop it that it would fit any of those. So there's some inexpensive tees where it's got a rubber tube that comes out of the center of home plate, and there's, I don't know, 3 or 4 million of those sold a year just in the U.S. alone. It even attaches to that tee, and then Rickey talked about an inverted tee or upside down, where the cup's on with suction, and we could even attach it to that and make it work, which was unbelievable. We just did that this year because, making that statement that will fit any tee. So far, it has fit any tee that functions properly. So the tees come with the ones that extend have a gasket in them. And when that gasket goes bad, they won't stay up. They'll just collapse with a little bit of weight on them. So naturally, when you attach a swing trainer, it's added weight. And if the tee is older and needs repair or not functioning well, then it's going to bring it down to an operational height, but you're not going to be able to do other technical things like the high tee drill or work high inside pitches or high away pitches. You can still work inside and outside pitches, but they're going to be at lower levels. So for coaches that are using the tee is, to me, one of the best training tools in the world. And what the swing trainer does is that, people are paying, on an average now, a hitting coach with a tunnel fee and everything is close to $100 an hour. You can buy this product for less than $100. I mean, normally it's selling for $100, but a one-time fee of $100. And if you have a net to hit in, and there's several companies that make nets, one of our good friends owns Bow Net. Treats us fantastic. And that's a net on the market. You buy the net, you set it up, you set the tee in front of it, about 3 feet away, add the swing trainer, and now you have an instant coach. So you have a coach instead of somebody telling you, hey, your hands are getting away from your body, your arm bar, and you're casting, you're hitching. The swing trainer will take all that out. And with Rick saying about the multiple drills, once you start playing at a higher level, where you see a hitting coach that can teach you these drills, once you learn them, you put the swing trainer on, and you can do the south side's going to keep you from dropping your barrel and dropping your back shoulder. Your swing plan will be correct. You can put it on the north side. That's going to help you on your follow through and finishing that drops and shoulder. The east-west drill is, where it's away from you, which it was originally designed to do. And then Rick talked about the knob drill, which you set the tee high inside with the indicator. You drive the knob to the indicator, which keeps you in slot and keeps correct bat lag. And so, it's a dynamic tool. It's simple. It works. It's very, very durable. And I'm, it really, like the pipe that it's made out of, Rick's showing you the flexibility. It's a softer plastic pipe. It will not damage the bat. That was the whole design. You couldn't use like PVC or something hard, or that would shatter. And we have a ball joint, so it rotates well. And honestly, it's worked out wonderfully. We have customer service. We talk to anybody that will take our call to get feedback and any improvements. And we've really tried to stay ahead of the curve. And so far, everything's worked out really well. Haven't really had any complaints of the function of it whatsoever. I mean, the coaches love it. The other thing, it comes in a bag. You can wear it on your back, like a cleat bag, like the kids put their glove in or whatever. And it's lightweight enough, and you can travel with it anywhere. And you don't have to go to the field. You can live in a townhouse with a small yard, and you set up in the backyard. And if you have a big enough area to swing the bat, and you set your net up, you drive balls right into the net, and you're knowing instantly what you're doing. And then we have drills. You go on our site. We have an app you can purchase, and Rick can talk more about that. And everything that is actually, and then, like I said, he did have me write a book. So the book's got a whole bunch of the drills and all in it, but the app is excellent. And it's actually one of the other owners who's a trainer also. And he and I did a whole video set on all of our drills. And I'll let Rick elaborate on that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, just to kind of give you inside my mind on the business side and how when I saw Tom, and when I said, hey, I want to make him a household name around baseball training and hitting trainer, I thought about different tools that he would need. He would need to have a book, right? Same conversations that, me and you had, Sean. It was like, all right, man, this is how you get the book written and all this kind of stuff. And, let's get it done. Get all your thoughts in there, all that kind of stuff. And that was a good task. But then I said, how do we duplicate you, because you can't be everywhere. And we said, well, let's figure out how to develop an app and put all of our trainings in the app. Everything that you would do, well, not everything, but a lot of the things that we would do, a lot of the drills that we do, something where we can continue to add on that library of drills, and we can build a community online as well. So we developed an app, right? We developed that app, and that was all. Sean, I never built an app before, right? I never did, and a lot of this stuff. Other than I've done a book before, a couple of times, but never did an app before, and it was still one of those things. All right, how do you build an app? And you go research it, and you go to find out, you find the skills you need, the people that can do it for you, or connecting, all that kind of stuff, right? And you get this product made, and we had it on one platform. And I'm telling the story is it's funny. We had this one platform where the app was built on, and it for one reason or another, we was like, man, I think we can do this ourselves and make it independent instead of being on a third party app, right? So we were getting ready to go to Tennessee 2 weeks before, and I was like, man, when we go there, I want to make sure these people can purchase the app. So I sit down at my computer and I'm like, okay, I gotta just play around with different app building platforms. 2 hours later, I have the app built. I duplicated what I had before on a third party app within this system here, and transferred all of our stuff over, all of our things over. Then next night, I spent another 2 hours polishing it up. The next night, I went and just make sure all the features and everything were there and all that kind of stuff. Did some tests. So a matter of 3-4 days, like, we had our whole app on our own independent platform.
Wow.
So now when we go out to Nashville, we're selling from we control it. We selling on our own platform. We're selling all our stuff. And it's just one of those things of, we have other aspects of where we can spread the insight and the knowledge and the expertise that Sean has, and that Tom has, and it could go and spread to the world instead of just our local community. So it's been an awesome journey in that regards. But to speak about that whole engineering mindset around how I approach those things, it's just really just being willing to figure things out, right? One of my mentors in the game of engineering, I went to him for a question, and he went behind his desk and started looking up the answer. And he said, hey, come around and see what I'm working on. And the first thing he went to was Google. I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking, hey, I'm an engineer, we should figure this thing out. Like, no, right. Dude, it's like, use the resources that are here for you that so many people don't use to steer you and guide you. Of course, you got to put some intellect behind that, but use the resources that are right here in front of you, that you can pull together, get information from, dive into, and just be willing to put the work in to get what you want out of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. Sometimes we forget that everything we need is pretty much out there, right? But sometimes you do need someone, whether it's just to redirect you or guide you towards those things or towards other resources. But those things take you to the next level. And, I think what you guys are doing is great. I think it's going to be even bigger than you will probably ever imagined. And I knew when I saw the pictures, I was like, this is going to be huge. Because anything that deals with corrections and improving a skill set, right? Because playing baseball is a skill. It's a skill set. It's muscle memory. It's motor controls, all those things. But perfecting it to the point where you need to be better at it and can get better at it. Like you said, Tom, people paid hundreds, thousands of dollars on yearly coaching and camps and whatever else just to improve their swing for a number of different things: schools, colleges, professional tryouts, whatever else. So being able to hone that skill and work on that craft on their own is amazing. My last question for you guys is about the trainer itself. Is it battery operated? Is it charged? What's the battery life? Just so people can get an idea of, like, when they're out there, are we talking about they have a time set, or can they last forever? Like, how does that work?
Go ahead.
Okay. No, it has no electrical nothing. It's just Rick should have one, but I didn't even think about having one here. I'd love to do something with you one time, and I don't know, be able to do something live that I could sit and break it down and do a teaching show for you sometime. That would be fantastic. But no, it's all injection molded. It's heavy duty. It's super durable. He's got one in his hand right now. And no, it just has rubber straps that have all designated holes that you can strap it onto the tee. The indicator, as he showed you before, we made it red so that it locks in. It's got cam locks and it's adjustable. And what happens is it's just all basic, non-electronic. Nothing's going to wear out eventually. I guess if the indicator gets hit enough times, there's a bungee cord in there, and that could eventually stretch and break. But we've had them there hit hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And the new cord that we have is really heavy duty, and it could get up to maybe 500 or 1,000 strikes on it, before it ever breaks. And that's a simple replacement that we're doing a video and things on. But that's it. I mean, there's nothing else on it to break. Maybe the strap. So I've had one strap break at one of the holes, not the entire strap, just a hole broke, and we've made it that you can use multiple holes. So if it breaks, you can go to the next one, things like that, to make it very durable. We've had one hole rip in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, because we had that same strap made as part of the research and development phase. But very, very durable, not electronic. Nothing's going to wear out, no batteries or anything like that. And you can take it anywhere. I mean, you can go on vacation, set the net up, and you can take a net, the tee, and the swing trainer, and you can train anywhere. And the thing is, the pros, believe it or not, we had a guy, here I am, talking to people about it, and this big muscular guy comes up, and I think he's from Virginia, and he played the MLB. Here, I don't know who the guy is. And I mean, he wasn't a superstar, but he still did 6-7 years. I mean, he's a special athlete. Okay, unbelievable. Comes up and he says, "Hey, I want to get a couple of these. Would you explain it?" Here I'm explaining hitting to an MLB guy. I don't even know this. So Rick's standing back, Marlon's back there. I think they looked him up or something somehow. I don't know how they did that, but I don't know if somebody told him or what. But I was like, so I'm sitting there saying, I said, "Listen, I'm in Maryland. If you want me to come down and show you how to use it, and I'll be more than happy. It's not that far a drive. I'll come down and spend time with it." He goes, "No, I think I got it." He said, "Man, that's a great idea. I don't know how you came up with this." And had some college coaches, and it's pretty hard not to feel really good about it when you got an MLB guy telling you, "Hey, this is a fantastic idea. I don't know how you came up with it." Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know this. I get done there and go, "Hey, that's so and so. He played for Boston or whatever." I'm like, "What?" They go, "Yeah, he's an MLB guy." I was like, "Well, you could have gave me a heads up." They're back here giggling, So I'm, trying to, not really upsell or anything. I'm just trying to explain the product to the guy, and he knew what it was immediately. Yeah. So it's been super fun. I think we're going to Texas in January. So every year we do that, and I think we're going to be doing a softball conference too. So next year is going to be busy, but that's really fun because you get to, meet the players, meet coaches, parents, come to all these, a lot of these events, and it's really fun. And there was a gentleman there from Japan, and I think he's bought like 20 of them now. So we even have, in Japan, which is, never dreamt of that. Canada, and they're out of the country now. So it's just been a fun ride. And all I can tell all of you people out there, just you have an idea, just give it a shot. Just go for it. Don't, if I wasn't teaching, this wouldn't have come into my mind. They say on Shark Tank, they say, "Listen, if you have a product that fixes a problem, you're going to be successful with it." And I didn't think of that ahead of time. I just needed to make this drill portable because I use a whole hitting cage when I do the drill. I use the side of my hitting cage. And the average net that you're going to buy is well over probably $135 to $150. And you need 2 of them. You need one net to hit the ball in, and then you have to make the other one portable. Then the wind's blowing it, messing around. I thought, well, wow, if we could just make something attached to the thing, then we can fix that problem. And I just basically took a drill and fixed the problem. I mean, that's how simple it was. And more to come, definitely more to come. But and made it portable, and it's simple and easy to use and very durable. And I would tell everybody, just you got a problem, fix the problem, make it simple for people. you'll probably really be successful.
Exciting. Where can people purchase the Elite Trainer? Where can they get that thing now if they wanted to buy it today?
So you can go to hitdoctormd.com, hitdoctormd.com, and you could find all of our information there. The first page will lead you to where you can purchase a swing trainer, and also any other of our products that we have, as well as Tom mentioned, his book, as well as our bundle. We have a bundle for the swing trainer and the app. That's a popular bundle for us and sell for us, where not only do they get the Elite Swing Trainer, but they also get full access to the app. And for right now, and I would recommend people getting on now, because right now the app is only a one-time fee. There is no subscription base. It's just a one-time fee. And if you get it with the bundle, with the Elite Swing Trainer, it's all for $150, right? $150 for all. Separately is around $60 or $70, but it's a one-time fee. So get it now before we change that to a subscription base, because that definitely is coming. But all those that purchase it now will have it for a lifetime, for the one-time cost.
That's great, folks. That's definitely a bargain. So listen, where can people follow you guys on social media or otherwise? We have the website, but anywhere if we can follow you and like your pages, that'd be great.
Yep, absolutely. Follow us on Instagram, Hit Doctor MD, Facebook, Hit Doctor MD. We started the oh my goodness, what is it called? TikTok as well, Hit Doctor MD. And this is like, share with you guys like our organic growth with this. We started in the beginning of this year. We weren't really on social media much, because we didn't really have much to really put out there. We were doing a lot of work in the lab, right? We launched on the way down to Tennessee. We drove down, so it was a lot of thinking, a lot of working time. At least I was working. These other guys were fooling around. But we created the TikTok. We made sure our Instagram started getting out there, and within a few months now, our growth has been exponential, right? And one thing I would say with people is, like, don't look for the home run, right? And I use that term on purpose because we're talking about baseball, but I mean, don't look for the home run. Like, look to advance, right? Look to advance the runner. Look to advance yourself, whether it be a single, whether it be a double. But you'll get a lot more success if you're going for those swings versus just trying to knock it over the fence every single time. And that's what we try to apply in our world of business, of just taking those baby steps. So as I'm talking to you right now, we've grown our Instagram platform from 100 followers to over 1,000, taking baby steps. And I promise you this, with our strategy that we have in place, that number is going to double next month, and the following month, and the following months. Why? Because we're just taking baby steps. So I encourage everyone to continue doing that. But everything is Hit Doctor MD. Make sure you put the MD in there, and all of our social media and things will come right up.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. Ricky, you already know you're my guy for life. And
Likewise.
from the Success Journey show to everything else you've done, congrats on all your accomplishments. And Coach Tom, my new friend, I salute you. I'm proud of you also. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you in Maryland or anywhere else you guys are going to be. If you guys are ever in New York, I know I have a number of contacts with a number of the teams and areas here in New York City, especially with our company, Jaguar Physical Therapy. So, it'd be great for us to even have you guys come and maybe present to some of our baseball teams, some of our softball teams, some of our athletic trainers. And these are all things that even us as clinicians, we can use to help those who are either rehabbing from baseball, softball injuries to get back into the swing of things, no pun intended. But, just a good way for them to get back to doing what they're doing and to have a good way to segue, not just after rehab, but just, again, back on the baseball field, softball field, using their skills to get better. And whether they're working with a team or working on their own, this product is crucial and it's key. It's a gem. So congratulations, gentlemen, on your good work, your hard work, and I wish you guys the best for the future.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us on.
Of course, of course, of course. And folks, you heard what they both said. They talked about progress. They talked about taking the small step. They talked about hitting the singles and the doubles, not just going for the home run, but it goes right back to our quote. Some people want it to happen. Some people wish it would happen. others make it happen. And both Coach Tom and Rickey have gone out there and they made this thing happen. They literally made something out of nothing. And that nothing is becoming so many more things for people around their area, not just in Maryland, but around the world soon to be. So continue to follow them, go on the websites, check out their product, spread the word about this amazing invention that's going to change the world of baseball, softball for the future. And I just thank them for being on the show today. And folks, remember what they said, go out there, believe in yourself. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And as you already know, we'll be here next week for another version of the Be More Today show. But until then, have a good day, have a good night, have a great life, and continue to take your steps of greatness to be the best version of you. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Love it. Peace.